Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Davidson Abishegam, and today I'm going to talk to you about something really interesting and really big, and it's called colored brain. Now it may be something that many of you have not heard of before, but I'm here to introduce it to you and to the world. Now, what is colored brain? Now, colored brain is a psychometric tool, just like many of the psychometric tools that many of you have used before and have been tested on. But what makes colored brain unique and different? Now, for starters, colored brain is not a psychometric tool that tests or assesses your behavior. It actually checks and assesses how your brain gets clarity, how your brain is wired to get clarity. And by performing this test, right, you will actually get a result which will show you one of the four colors. And we're going to have red, we have green, we have blue, and we have purple. Now I'm going to take you through the four colors so you will understand most likely which type of brain you are. Now I'm going to start with red. Now there's no importance to the four colors, there's no good color, there's no bad color. It's about identifying which color you are. Now let's start with red. Red color is essentially a person who is very structured, who is very logical in their thinking. So for them to get clarity in everything that they do, it needs to have a certain structure. They need to follow a certain structure. And they need a lot of information that they need to analyze before they can take actions. Now, very briefly, let's talk about green. Now, green, we call it chaotic processing. Now, it doesn't mean that it's bad in any way. It's just that the way that they have been hardwired in their brain is processing things in a very chaotic way. They need to start taking action immediately, even with very minimum or minimal information and structure. So they are the doers. The green brain are doers. But the moment there's a task that needs to be done, they jump right into it to get it done. Now let's look a little bit about the purple brain. Now the purple brain, we call it relational processing. These are people. I am purple brain, by the way. A purple brain person is someone who just requires lots and lots of information. Now without information, they do not have clarity. And all this information they have needs to be connected to each other. Now these are people who cannot take any action until they've seen the big picture, until all the information is connected. Hence, these are people who just go on collecting information, making sense of everything before they can move into the next step to take any actionable steps in that sense. Last but not least, let's look at the blue brain. Now the blue brain are people who process information in a very intuitive way. They are basically very people person. They use a lot of emotions when connecting to people around them and their environment. Now, to cite a very quick example, a blue brain would be a person who is very emotional, and for them to make a decision, they will consider people, they will consider emotions, they will consider environment before they can get any clarity. So in summary, each one of us belong to one or more of these categories, or one of these four brain colors basically. And while you may belong to more than one of the four is going to be your dominant brain color, and that's basically who you're going to be known as. You're going to be known as either red or green or blue or purple, right? In my particular case, I am dominantly a purple, but very strong or very high in red. And my lowest scores was in blue, intuition, as we discussed a while ago. All right, now that you have heard about the four different colors, you may have an inkling of which color you probably are, but you will only know it once you actually do the assessment. However, just based on the characteristics that I've just explained a while ago, perhaps you can now determine or get an inkling of what the people around you, what colored brain they are. People you work with, people in your family, your customers, right? Just by looking at the way they process information, the way they work. So for instance, you may have a co-worker that is so into structure. So even if you go to a particular restaurant, for instance, you'll notice the way they look at the menu, the way they look at the bill. They need to make sure that everything is very structured and very logical, and a lot of analysis before they can make a decision, which in this case is paying for the bill, right? Now, what can you do with this information once you know about the colored brain of the people around you? Now, if I know my colleague is, for instance, very red brained, right, the way I deal with him or her would now change, because this would increase my circle of tolerance. Because by understanding their brain color, I understand the person better. I understand how their brain processes information in a better way, which simply means I get more clarity. And by improving or increasing the circle of tolerance, my effectiveness in terms of working with this person improves. My relationship with this person also improves. Now imagine if you knew the colors, the brain colors of the people that you get in touch with, whether they are customers or your co-workers. Can you imagine what this would do to your relationships? You would now have greater understanding, which would lead to greater effectiveness and greater tolerance as well. So at the end of the day, basically, you will make wiser decisions and you will act more intelligently, which at the end is going to give you personal effectiveness and also organizational effectiveness. Guys, so that was about colored brain. If you are interested to know more about colored brain and the test, click on the link below to take the test, to find out your colored brain, and follow me on my social media, on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook, and all the information that you need will be provided there. I'm Davidson Abishegam, and thank you for watching.